Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for a new What's for Dinner. I'm gonna tell you, this week was a struggle to not just throw on a cookie sheet full of pizza rolls and tell everybody just to make a bowl of cereal. That was like my mood all week long. But I persevered, got some food done. I hope you enjoy this meal inspiration. Let me know how your Thanksgiving went. Ours went really well. Looking forward to Christmas. I'm so looking forward to Christmas. But anyways, again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoy this meal inspiration. Okay, so if you want to see what I made my family this week, thank you for watching.
Okay, for this first meal, we did spicy chicken sandwiches. Now, I used the Tyson pre-made, they're like big, huge chicken nuggets. And half of them I put some Tony Chachere's on just to give a little spice. And then for the little ones, we just kept it plain. And we just baked it in the oven for 25 minutes. I rotated each time to get the crispness done. And then I just made some sriracha mayonnaise for the adults. The kids just had regular mayonnaise on their sandwiches. For the little ones, they got their chicken sandwiches plain as normal with just regular mayonnaise. Some carrots for the side, some ranch dip to dip their carrots in, some baked beans, and I did boil up some corn on the cob. For us adults, I just sliced up a tomato and then some romaine lettuce. This was before the recall. And then some baby Swiss for cheese. This was so delicious. And it was the spicy chicken sandwiches. And, you know, look, nobody got hurt trying to get a spicy chicken sandwich up in my house. But, you know, all jokes aside, this really was really good. It was super simple, done in under 30 minutes. While the chicken was baking in the oven, I got all my other sides together, and it was super simple and delicious. We all have busy lives, and we need something super simple and good and something we can't get hurt over. They also actually have the spicy version at Walmart. I just couldn't find it that day.
Okay, so for dinner tonight, we're just gonna do a crock pot meal. We're gonna do a dump and go. I have done a chicken enchilada recipe video before. I'm gonna link it up here in the, card up in here. Okay, yeah, that made sense. So I've got 4 frozen chicken breasts in here. I'm gonna be putting in 1 block of this Velveeta queso blanco. So I've got that. This is just the little 16 1-pound ounce block of cheese. I've got this. This is something that was new. This is the McCormick Street Taco Southwest Ranch Chicken Seasoning. I've got 1 of those. I'm going to be putting that in there. So I'm also going to be putting in some Knorr. This is the tomato bouillon with chicken flavor. I've got 4 cups of bouillon in here. So I've got 2 cups and 1 cube. So I've got 2 cubes in here. And then I've got 1 can of fire roasted diced tomatoes. I've got 1 can of whole kernel corn. I've got 1 can of black beans, and I've got 1 can of ranch style beans. This is the sweet onion ones. It doesn't matter, what you do with this, regular ranch style beans. You can even not use the ranch style beans. It's all to your own, personal favor. And then we've got some cilantro leaves right here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour in the broth right there. And then I'm going to start pouring in all of my stuff. I'm not draining anything. It gives extra, soup here. The corn. The black beans. You could, you can if you want to drain it, obviously. It's your soup if you want to, but I'm not. And then the ranch style, oh, I just spilled that. Great. The ranch style beans. There's some in there. I'm probably gonna have to scrape those out. Nope, it all came out. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna put in the packet. And then I'm gonna put in all of the cheese. And then the last step is going to be the cilantro. Right there. And then I'm going to cook this on high for 2 hours because I'm starting kind of late in the day. I'm about to mix all of this together. But I started late in the day, so I'm gonna cook it on high for 2 hours. That should get the chicken nice and done. And then once the chicken's done, I'm gonna take the chicken out, shred it, put it back in, and then I will cook it on low for about another 2 hours. Just to get everything married. Now you can absolutely do this first thing in the morning if you go to work during the day. Throw all this in there, and then when you get home, take the chicken out, you know, cook it on low for 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever your lowest setting is, and it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So you won't have to worry about that, but I am home and I am starting kind of late in the day, so 2 hours on high. And then I'll be back once I get the chicken out and shredded, so you can kind of see how the process is going. Okay, and that is dinner done. I'm sorry, time got away from me, but this ended up cooking all together for 5 hours. Like I said, 2 on high and then 3 hours on low, and it came out perfect. I just shredded up some cheese, got some sour cream and some chives, and then I also did some pork tamales. This is the tamales that I did, and I just steamed them like it says on the back for the directions. You can do microwave too, but steaming is the best. So that is dinner for tonight. The eldest is about to make his plate, and the hubs is out getting air conditioner filters. I feel like we're always just a complete mess. Little ones already have their bowls and whatnot, so that is Friday night's dinner.
Okay, and then for tonight I did enchiladas. I did 2 pounds of ground beef, and then I just mixed it with McCormick's original taco seasoning. I did take a little bit out of the mixture to have for Wyatt and Riley just some regular tacos. I did Mexicorn, and I did 2 packets of the Knorr Spanish rice. For the Mexicorn, I just take a few slices of bacon, slice them up, and then get them nice and crispy to get the extra bacon grease. I drained 2 cans of corn, and then I put in 1 can of drained rotel. And then I also put in just a little bit of pepper. I don't put any extra salt because of the bacon gives enough salt in this. And then I also put in a couple tablespoons of butter and just give it a mix every now and then until the butter is completely melted. And then that's my Mexicorn. I've shown this a few times and we all love it. Even the little ones love this. Now for the enchiladas, I just had a big can of the El Paso red enchilada sauce. This was actually, I had ordered a small one, but they gave me a big one. So I just take a few tablespoons of that enchilada sauce and mix it in with the taco meat that I had already made. It just gives it a little extra flavor. And then I have my tortillas. I have flour tortillas here. I don't really care to do flour tortillas, but I didn't have any corn ones. So this is, you know, it did the job. Let's just say it did the job. I have a mixture of pepper jack cheese and Colby Jack cheese that I put in there. And then I just rolled and folded all of them up, poured a little bit of the enchilada sauce on top, per usual when you make enchiladas. And then I did bake this at 350 for about 15 minutes until all of the cheese was nice and bubbly. The little ones just had regular tacos and they love that Spanish rice. They really, really like it. And I forgot to show where I put in the oranges and apples. But there it is, all pretty and done. This was delicious and it was done in under about 45 minutes all total. Look at that sad avocado right there. It was still good. Okay, and the last meal is meatloaf. I know, meatloaf. How boring. But I did change things up. I wanted to try a different recipe. So I took the Lipton onion, it's the beefy onion soup mix, put it in there, a couple tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, half a cup of ketchup, 2 scrambled up eggs, and a half a sleeve of I've gone blank. saltine crackers. Oh my goodness. And then per usual, I just rolled it up into a loaf and then I baked it at 400 for an hour. Now with this, I also made some brown gravy. Instead of putting a ketchup topping on it, I wanted to do some brown gravy on top, and oh my Lord, this was amazing. It's not the prettiest meatloaf I've ever done, but it is definitely the most flavorful. So with that being said, I also did some mashed potatoes for this side. And here I am making up the rest of the brown gravy. I just used the Pioneer brown gravy and used their instructions. Here I am just pouring on the top of the meatloaf some of that brown gravy, and then I just popped it back into the oven for about 5 minutes. For my mashed potatoes, I just did regular old mashed potatoes, milk, butter, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and then I also put in about 2 ounces of cream cheese. I also did some asparagus. I steamed them with these Ziploc steamable packets that they have. I love these things. And of course, I just chopped the ends off and then I put it in the steamable bag. I put in some garlic salt, a couple tablespoons of butter, and some pepper. These things are amazing and they do not make your food taste like plastic. So don't worry about that if you decide to try it. And then on the packet, it tells you what vegetable and how long to steam it for in the microwave, and the asparagus steams for like 2.5 minutes, and then you get perfectly done asparagus. Love, love, love those. Look at how perfectly done these asparagus are. They are so delicious, absolutely delicious. This whole meal was my favorite meal of everything. That meatloaf was so delicious. Now, my family likes things a little bit more on the salty side, so if you're not a fan of salty, you might not like this. So that was my meals for the week. I have so much in store for next week's What's for Dinner that I'm really excited about. Like I said, I was really on the struggle bus to figure out some meals for this week other than, just all crap food. You've been there, done that. But next week, I'm really looking forward to it. I've got some really great meal ideas for next week. So keep your eye out on that. It should be going up the same time next week as it is today. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.